talk about this being a hell realm, this being a soul trap, this being a loose prison farm, prison planet. And a lot of it comes from the old Gnostic texts, the Gnostic texts. They had a lot of material talking about the archons and the demiurge and i.e.Death, the one-eyed blind god, also known as Samuel. So your Jehovah's, your Yahweh's, your i.e.Death's, any of those entities who require worship, blood sacrifice, burning of flesh, pain and suffering for you to attain their entryway into heaven, or you have to go through somebody else, an intermediary, to be able to connect with source. Yeah, all of those are based on manipulation of here and here. You're already what you are. Your salvation is going to have to be a self-salvation. You're going to have to redeem yourself. And the way you neutralize this siphoning system, this vampiric siphoning system, which feeds off of you, your emotions, your overcharged emotions, your low vibratory emotions, anything they can get an ionic pull from, no different than a battery. That's what this system does. You work, you eat, you play, you sleep. You work, you eat, you play, you sleep. And on the weekend, after you've already been weakened, you get to have a little fun, right? Not too much though. And there's a reason why we have to recharge every night. Because throughout the day, you have been drained. Your battery has been drained. You have been discharging your power. And you say, well, where's it going? Well, it's going to something, someone, some things. Something is taking the energy. So to neutralize that ionic exchange, then we have to learn how to detach from this whole system. Let go. Although almost impossible. Because why? The body's what? You're a slave to the rhythm. So you must consume one life form to preserve your life. That's crazy. But that's the predicament we in. So we want to cut the connection as closely as possible to severing that connection. At least on the emotional level, the thing that we can control, so far as how we react to all the madness and the chaos and the despair and the distraught, the senseless killings. Back to that little god, that one that claimed that he's the god, the i.e.Death, the bastard child, the one that thought he was all alone. So he claimed everything in existence, not knowing he was in a void, or it was in a void. So that was the beginning of the ego, basically. The i.e.Death, that energy, that was the ego, the selfish, survive at all costs ego that most of us identify as our true selves, which can be further from the truth. The ego is necessary to maintain your personality, your identity, and that's about it. Give you a little self-confidence. But when the ego is overinflated, then that becomes the narcissistic control freak that wanted to make sure it survives at all costs, no matter what it has to do and who has to suffer. So that's not really the energy you want to be dealing with. That's a low vibratory energy. So the ego can live off you thinking you're the best spiritual teacher, or you're the worst person on earth. It'll find a way to reinforce that same rhetoric so that you produce that, because it protects itself. Because I'm telling you like this, truly, your spiritual essence, your awareness, that's what you are. You're not the body. You're in the body. Right? You say, oh, my arm hurts. My eye is itching. It's always mine, right? You understand that. Even children do that from an early age. So what we need to understand is how to incorporate the ego into your everyday life, let it be what it is, and then let it move on when it's time to move on. It doesn't have to be part and parcel in everything you do. Some things you should do straight from the heart, intuition. You don't have to think. You know, the thought process, the ego, the yard above, all of the mind, the divided shit. The mind is the matrix.
The matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. But when you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it. Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress?
I was...
Look again. Freeze it.
This isn't the Matrix.
No. It's another training program designed to teach you one thing. If you are not one of us, you are one of them.
What are they?
Sentient programs. They can move in and out of any software still hardwired to their system. That means that anyone we haven't unplugged is potentially an agent. Inside the Matrix, they are everyone, and they are no one.
We have survived by hiding from them, by running from them. But they are the gatekeepers. They are guarding all the doors, they are holding all the keys, which means that sooner or later, someone is going to have to fight them.
Someone.
I won't lie to you, Neo. Every single man or woman who has stood their ground, everyone who has fought an agent has died. But where they have failed, you will succeed.
Why?
I've seen an agent punch through a concrete wall. Men have emptied entire clips at them and hit nothing but air. Yet their strength and their speed are still based in a world that is built on rules. Because of that, they will never be as strong or as fast as you can be.
What are you trying to tell me? That I can dodge bullets?
No, Neo. I'm trying to tell you that when you're ready, you won't have to.
So this realm itself was set up for you to be restricted. That's why your senses, you rely on these eyes and these ears, they can only take you so far. You're not even using those when you sleep and you dream. They cut all those auditory senses and they shut all of that off. The body's paralyzed. So where's all the imagery coming from? Where's that light coming from? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. That would be your pure awareness, your spiritual essence, being deciphered by the mind, decoded by the brain, put out into a holographic or representation of reality, an image, sounds. But in true silence is where you will find you can commune with the Creator, that divine source. Just knowing that we can counteract the attacks from those demons, those hiding in the shadows, those ones seeking in the crevices, those parasites, by starving them of food, meaning to be emotionally detached from them. When they show you those scenes and all those pictures, you can still have feelings for those people going through that. You can send out positive energy or healing energy. You just don't let it ruin your day, as I have many times. Just saying, I'm done with it. Dark night of the soul, whatever you want to call it. Like, enough is enough. You gotta do this again. Ain't nothing changing. You still out here partying and bullshit. One thing you gotta do is not take them serious. Take your situation serious, but don't take them serious. Because once you take them serious, then they got you like that, right? They've already reeled you in. You form a magnetic connection. So the thing is, to sever those connections, you got to free yourself from the impositions they place on you. Get rid of all your ambitions and the need to do this and I got to do that, attain this, and because once they see that you have your eye on something, whatever it is you're looking for, trying to grasp, well, that's what they're going to use against you. So these guys are based on manipulation, deception, corruption, distortion, perversion, and You can see the signs. You hang around them long enough, or you hang around certain people long enough, or you watch certain shows long enough, or anything, you'll see. Everybody else just goes about their day like, hey, strap up, time to get to work. Gotta be the best, gotta do this, gotta win. All we do is win, right? They pump that shit in your head all day. While you winning, everything else is losing. But it's all about manifesting your reality at the expense of somebody else most times. Truly manifesting your reality, it wouldn't be affecting anybody. Just you, your inner world. That will reflect back out into the reality. On a natural, positive note. Good harmonics. But the true creator don't have to move nowhere. Still, straight essence. I'm everywhere all at once. I don't have to move. I'm in everything. Even in sleeping ignorance is attached to source some type of way, even though it severed its connection. Or it thought it did. So it created this bubble, what you call the hell realm. And people try to tell you which way to get out. Find your way, because their way might not work. You might find your piece a different way, even though you might take some of the same similar steps. You got to put your own little spin on it. You see what I'm saying? Make it special for you. Make your own rituals. Make it personal to you. So look to no one to find your way out of nowhere. Look to yourself. Go within. Because as long as you're trying to go without, if you think there's a trap waiting for you, then you're going to create that trap too. Those archons, those lesser entities that lost their ability in connection with divine source, they lost their ability to have the intention. They call it anoia, I think in Greek, but the intention, the ability to create from a blank slate. See, what they do is they just mimic. They can mimic very well, but they can't create anything new. That's where you come in. That's when the true soul, the true spirited ones come in. And we create the madness that they instill in our minds for them. Because we are falling prey to the programming, right? So once we're programmed, they put us on autopilot. Fight, flee, fornicate, work, play. That's the schedule. Conception, birth, school, job, get married, children, death, retirement. Boom. Take a couple trips. That's it. So we got to get out of that paradigm and start living in the now. Be content with what you are now. Regardless of your flaws. Love your flaws, love your good, love your bad. If you got regrets and all of that, then it's going to be another thing to tether you back here. So one of the best ways to get out of here is to basically say, fuck it, I'm done with it all. While still living. That means dying to this shit while you still living. One of the hardest things to do. Well, I got children, I got a wife. Yeah, you're going to have to do the journey yourself, I promise you. Because when you go through that portal, it's going to be you. Or whatever it is, that's going to be you. And I ain't trying to stop for nothing. Because the people that I love and truly got a spiritual bond with, I'm going to see them regardless. I'm already with them. It's just this veil that's been put up, like I said, this veil, this bubble of reality will have you think otherwise. The hardest part of the spiritual journey for me was shit, coming out of it and still having some motivation after I found out all the bullshit about this place. Then I said, you know what, hey, either I can dwell there and let them feed off of me on the low end, or I can rise up and then get to that neutral place. And that's how you neutralize the players in the hell realm, which you would call the realm of ignorance, which you would call the realm of evil, due to that ignorance. If your attention is on something, and that thing has your attention, it's going to try its best to keep that attention, because that's what keeps it alive. So that's just a few ways I found out how to deal with this place.
I can't live my life so right and be so wrong. I can't live my life so right and be so wrong. I can't live my life so right and be so wrong. As I glance out the window with my hand wrapped on the endo, I take small totes for lost folks and let the wind blow. Spirits sit on top of the earth watching it spin slow. My life's a movie and yo, it's crisis.